Hey guys, I'm back and I am doing a viewer request today. And the request was not specific in what we're looking at here, but it was, could you find one of the cheapest knives on Amazon that you think looks good and do a review on it? So I found one of the cheapest knives on Amazon that I was willing to spend money on, that I thought might look good, and we're going to do a review on it. So right here, it is the True Strike, also known as the tactical knife, folding pocket knife, black stainless steel, made by True Strike. I've never seen it before. It was less than $9, but you know, we'll check it out and we'll see. Definitely low cost. Definitely low cost. So, see what we've got. So it is fairly lightweight. We've seen this clip over and over and over in many, many low-cost, inexpensive knives, you know. And I venture to say fairly cheap knives. Decent retention on the clip, though. Just a little bit off-center out of the package. And a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of extra spacing between the liners of the G10, but $8.99, you know, we're not going crazy here. What it does have, though, looking at it, though, is some very nicely done G10. Take a look at the pattern there. That's kind of cool, right? You got barrel spacers, kind of open flow design there. A little bit of overbite on the G10 again. Nice finish on the blade, though. Little small. Oh, okay. All right, well, we've got, looks like bronze washers in there. Needs to break in a little bit. Not the smoothest thing. $8.99. Liner lock. Very common Wharncliffe blade shape there. Is this flat ground? No, it's very, very shallow hollow ground. So, nice contouring on the handle. It's very skinny, so the skinniness isn't super comfortable in my hand, and it's a very small kind of handle, which also doesn't give me the most comfort, but I think blade-wise it would be legal in a lot of places where folding knives are legal anyway, locking folding knives. Really could use a little bit, I think, of oiling and breaking in. It's kind of, if you watch the shuttering of it moving, I'm not doing that. That's the blade. Yeah. There we go. Once you get it going, it just needs to break in a little bit. Ooh. Oh, almost clipped my finger there. A little wrist action helps, but not bad. Let's see. Let's test the lockup, though. So I have a bad feeling about the centering. Let's check out the centering before we start. Okay. See how it's off just a little bit to the side? Okay. Well, it didn't break the lock, but the lock did shift over a little bit. Yeah? Let's see if we can hear it. I'm going to put it right next to the mic. Did you hear anything there? And the centering actually is better. The centering looks better. It looks better after we did that than it did before. Weird. And it's now going to that more locked up position. Weird. No blade play. Okay, whatever. That's a first. I guess it needed that, because now it's more centered. It is perfectly centered now. Oh, I guess it's still giving us. There we go. That was just bizarre. Never seen that happen before. But, you know, It's got some, some classic Wharncliffe lines. I mean, they did a nice job trying to sculpt the handle out there a little bit. It is very thin. It's a very thin handle. So if you got smaller hands, I guess it's comfortable. This G10 work does, so it's got a very slight texture on it, if you can see, but it does give you a little bit of grip there. You've got a little bit of jimping here on the thumb ramp, which is not too bad, honestly. You got a little bit of jimping on your liner lock, but two-finger lock-wise, it's a little spaced out to get a really comfortable two-finger lock on it. I mean, I guess you could, but I mean, I got to keep saying $8.99, less than $9. That shuttering though is it's kind of breaking itself in. I would still like to put a drop of oil in the pivot though. It's not bad. So you can see the steel here is 8CR13. So pretty common Chinese made alphabet soup steel. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's do a little pull through. Very nice, actually. Really nice. Nice pull through, nice slice, I mean, wow. I've really come to favor Wharncliffes for a utility blade. I used to not like them just because of the shape, honestly. But for a good slicing utility blade, I think Wharnies are a really good choice. I like them a lot. And for people looking for a low-cost knife, now I can't tell you how long this thing is going to last. I can't tell you how solid it's all put together, in the long term, but if you need an EDC utility type pocket knife for low cost, this one's performing pretty well. By the specs, it's not great. It's not, but it's also not terrible either. It's not. It's better steel than what my opinion, than what M-Tech uses. The construction on it is better than, Tac Force or M-Tech. The liners are not skeletonized or anything, but it's really not that heavy anyway. It'd be nice to be able to position this clip some other way, but honestly, it's not that hard to tap for screws somewhere else. $8.99, it's not all that bad. It's not all that bad, and it doesn't look too bad either, So let's talk about some ratings here. Starting with the old originality and departure from previous designs. Well, I mean, I don't know anything else from True Strike, so I can't judge it based on that. But it does, like I said, it's got a very classic Wharncliffe look here. So, I mean, it looks like Wharncliffe. It looks like every other Wharncliffe out there. So I'm just going to give it an average score of 3. Yes, it's got some nice kind of styling here on the handle, but you can find a whole lot of cheap knives with the same kind of, styling on the handle. But the blade is very nondescript, generic Wharncliffe looking. So we'll give it a 3, Fit and finish, I'm actually going to give it a 4. Though it's very nicely done. There are a few little areas where I would like to see it just a little bit tighter and a little bit better. Like I said, it's a little bit overbite with the G10 on the liner there. I don't know why it was off center initially, and now it's perfectly centered after we did the lock test. But it's, a couple areas where it could be improved, but it's better than average. I mean, for a knife in this price range, surely, absolutely better than average. Function and mechanics, I'm going to give it a 3 though, because it needs a lot of braking. It's still a little bit, jumpy, you can see. There's no real blade play, but it's a little bit concerning to me how the lockup changed the way it did, and how we still have a little bit of that hesitation closing it. I mean, and that might just need to be broken in, but we'll see. But it's about average for an inexpensive knife like this. Practicality and utility, we're going to go with a 3.5. I would love for you to be able to change that clip around somehow. I feel like for most people it's probably a great size. For larger hand people, not so much. For production out of the box standards, again, 3.5, great edge, but we still have a little bit of issue with the pivot there. Probably, again, just needs to be taken apart and oiled a little bit and loosened up. but we almost have it locking up really nicely every single time, almost. Comfort and feel, 3.5. They did a great job. They did a really great job, but I would could go just a little bit further, but it's better than, again, 3.5. Remember, it's better than average. Just plain old average is 3. They did a good job, and the cool factor is also 3.5. I like that they gave you a little bit of look here with the scales and everything, but it doesn't. There's nothing really sets it apart from like a lot of other Wharncliffes. So it just, that could be a good thing though. It doesn't stand out. Doesn't, make people want to look at it or anything. Quality materials definitely gets a 3 though. 8CR13 and very thin G10 and steel liners. It's like so many other knives on the market. For value of ownership and collectability, I'm going to give it a 2. I'm sure it's mass produced somewhere in China. Super affordable. It's not like it's going to be a collection piece at all, but it's a 2 because it is, I think, probably better made than TAC Force M-Tech, some of those things. So it's a step up from there, but I think its real value is just as a blade to have to use, not as anything special like that. But value to price ratio, because of all the other stuff we talked about, I'm going to give it a 4.5. For less than $9, I think you're definitely getting your money's worth. I definitely don't see a real downside to spending the $9 on this knife, even if you're going to throw it in a tackle box, a toolbox, glove compartment, or something. So it is good money spent, I think, for what you're getting. So overall score there is not high. It's 33.5, which gives an overall average score of 3.35. Obviously not a great high score, but still, I need to say it again, less than $9. So if you're looking for a starter knife, like your first knife, or you're just looking for a very cheap backup knife or utility knife to keep around, not bad. I'll add it to my Amazon influencer page under video reviewed knives if you're looking for it. Something, I hate to say disposable, but disposable. It's interesting, but there you go. So fulfilled a request. Cheapest folding knife on Amazon that's kind of worth spending money on. What do you guys think? You guys agree with my ratings, disagree with the ratings, would do them a little bit differently? Anybody interested in picking one up? I think it's an interesting little knife. So, all right. I love doing viewer requests, guys. If you have one, check the video description for lots of different ways to get in touch with me. And I would be glad to do as many of them as I can. So remember, you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.